Hello everyone, Jul here. After a lot of new turn-based games recommendation that I put in these last few months, I think it will be great to see some of the earliest contender for our turn-based games of the year in 2025. And since we are practically still on Q1 of 2025, of course the ultimate list for games of the year can still pretty much changing drastically, so I hope we are not overly fixated on the ranking in this video and enjoy it more as reference on what games that you shouldn't miss this year. But before we go into the list, I want to introduce you to the best platform for buying games in this modern era, and it's called Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is the perfect place for you to shop in games these days. Your transactions are legit, fast, and their supports are ready 24/7, so you don't need to worry about anything. Do you think I was done? Not even close. They have lots of games for your favorite platforms, and they have the best deals as well. Instead of cutting your budget for dinner to buy new games, why not try Instant Gaming and eat healthy as well? All you have to do is just click my link in the description below, start searching for your favorite games and use the activation code on your chosen platforms. By using my link, you're not only saving tons of money, but also helping me to support this channel. Alright then, let's get back into the list. Makai Agito is a modern-day dungeon-crawling RPG that blends mythological horror with strategic depth. In this game, combat is turn-based, with a front and back row system that encourages careful party formation. Monster fusion and customization systems serve as a core gameplay loop. Recruited beings can be fused to create stronger entities, inheriting skills and traits from their components. This fusion system is also complemented by the ability to equip monsters directly to characters, granting elemental affinities, passive bonuses, and new abilities. Portal Fantasy is a turn-based creature collecting RPG that blends nostalgic pixel art charm with modern mechanics. The heart of the game lies in its creature system. Players collect and train portables, which are customizable companions used in turn-based battles. Each portable comes with its own passive abilities, and these passives interact dynamically depending on team composition. Combat also rewards careful planning and team building over brute strength, with momentum management and skill timing proving critical to success. Splintered is a reimagining of classic RPG conventions, beginning with familiar genre beats before subverting expectations through a world-altering twist. The foundation of the game rests in traditional turn-based combat. Players wield attacks, spells, and items in battles against enemies that steadily grow more complex as the world shifts. The combat is also complemented by a flexible progression system, allowing players to level up equipment and unlock new abilities that refine and define individual playstyles. Monster Girls and the Mysterious Adventure Remastered Edition is a charming and challenging roguelike RPG that pays homage to the Mystery Dungeon formula while injecting its own personality. The gameplay adheres closely to the classic turn-based roguelike. Every action taken by the player advances the turn for all other entities within the dungeon, making tactical positioning, timing, and resource management essential to survival. Dungeons are also procedurally generated, with layouts, item placements, and enemy encounters changing with each attempt. Girls Frontline 2 is a turn-based strategy game that builds upon the tactical depth and narrative intrigue of its predecessor while embracing a more ambitious scope. The primary gameplay is structured around 3D tactical combat. The battlefield is no longer flat and static. Players must now account for terrain elevation, destructible cover, and tactical features such as gates, traps, and vantage points. Your units can also be moved freely across detailed stages, and their skill usage, weapon effectiveness, and movement range all come into play during engagements. The Silent Kingdom is a dark and emotional RPG that weaves a tale of sacrifice, power, and self-discovery through the eyes of a fallen princess. One of the game's strengths lies in its layered decision system. In addition to critical plot-defining choices, the game frequently offers immersive dialogue options that serve more to deepen character interactions than to shift narrative outcomes. Romantic subplots are also present in this game. The relationships, whether platonic, adversarial, or romantic, naturally shape the story's emotional arcs and influence its final outcome. Die in the Dungeon is a deck-building RPG that replaces cards with dice, creating a fresh tactical experience that merges luck and strategy. The game challenges players to build a deck composed entirely of dice, each representing a distinct action, modifier, or support function. And rather than drawing cards, players roll a selection of dice each turn and must carefully place them onto a board to determine the flow of combat. With an ever-expanding pool of dice, each run becomes a playground for experimentation, pushing players to craft unique builds and test unconventional strategies. Burden of Command is a World War II tactical RPG that sets itself apart by merging classic hex-based wargame mechanics with narrative depth and interpersonal dynamics. At the core of the experience is the duality between battlefield tactics and leadership psychology. Combat adheres to a turn-based phase-driven system where players activate a limited number of officers, who in turn issue orders within the constraints of shared action points. These points are also needed for crucial leadership functions such as rallying demoralized troops or initiating assaults, placing constant pressure on the commander to make sounding tactics. Astral Throne is a compelling fusion of roguelike design and tactical strategy RPG elements. Drawing from the legacy of classic SRPGs, it introduces a modern twist through procedural variation and meaningful choices. The combat is rooted in a turn-based, grid-based system similar to genre staples. However, unlike traditional campaigns, the game features handcrafted encounters woven into procedurally generated overworld maps. Permadeath also adds weight to every decision, which makes each battle an exercise in both foresight and improvisation. Those Who Rule is a tactical turn-based RPG that sets its sights on moral ambiguity and political intrigue. Set in a war-torn land on the brink of collapse, the game follows three inexperienced recruits thrust into a world of shifting allegiances and buried conspiracies. And as usual, combat is the mechanical heart of the game. Each turn demands deliberate planning, and while some randomness remains, the system is clearly designed to reward foresight and spatial awareness rather than risk-taking. Chains of Freedom is a turn-based tactics game set in a bleak, dystopian Eastern European nation. As expected, the core of the experience is its tactical combat system. Each mission requires precise coordination of squad members, with combat encounters that reward positioning, timing, and the effective use of character abilities. And since each character offers unique value to each battle, players must consider not only who to bring into each mission, but how their abilities synergize in combat.
Taking hits!
Look Outside is a survival horror RPG that combines survival horror with resource management. Encounters with enemies are inevitable, but each venture offers the opportunity to secure food, crafting materials, and partial insights into the mysterious affliction. In this game, combat operates within a turn-based system. Players must account not only for their equipment and inventory, but also the physical positioning of enemies in confined environments. Moreover, each creature is also meticulously designed, amplifying the game's visual commitment to the unsettling atmosphere. Sultan's game is a game that blends card-based mechanics with ruthless moral decision-making. Drawing inspiration from the 1001 Nights, the game casts the player as a minister, forced to survive a sadistic trial. Each week, one of 4 cards is drawn, each representing a brutal challenge with specific demands. Some players may find themselves using a Conquer card as an excuse to eliminate a rival or an Extravagance card to bankrupt a political enemy. However, these acts are not without risk, and the AI ensures that no deed goes unnoticed forever. Dark Deity 2 is a sequel that marks a confident return for the turn-based tactical RPG series, expanding upon its predecessor in both scope and ambition. At its core, the game remains rooted in the fundamentals that define the genre, which are grid-based battles, class progression, and party-based tactics. However, it leans into modern flexibility with a broad modular system. Customization is layered yet intuitive. Skills, gear, and stat-altering mechanics also combine to allow for varied battlefield roles, ensuring that no character is ever bound to a single archetype.
I'm here! Let's put on a show!
Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii is an eccentric entry in the Like a Dragon series that offers a unique blend of high-octane brawling, naval combat, and melodramatic storytelling. Gameplay-wise, the combat adheres to the established formula of exaggerated street brawling, now infused with 2 distinct fighting styles, which are Mad Dog and Sea Dog. The former emphasizes speed, acrobatics, and precision, while the latter is a pirate-themed evolution, introducing dual swords and nautical gadgets. Players are encouraged to switch between styles to maximize damage and style, with each form unlocking unique abilities and synergies. LUNAR Remastered Collection is a compilation that brings back 2 of the most cherished JRPGs of the 90s in a definitive edition. The Remastered Collection revitalized the experience with enhanced graphics, ensuring that the vibrant world of LUNAR shines even brighter. The soundtrack has also been refined to deliver a richer audio experience. Not only that, quality of life upgrades, including modernized UI elements and gameplay refinements, make these classic RPGs more accessible than ever before. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster is a faithful restoration of 2 of the most cherished JRPGs from the PlayStation era. These titles are now reintroduced with a series of carefully implemented enhancements that modernize the experience. The inclusion of an autosave function ensures greater accessibility, particularly in longer segments between save points. Moreover, a battle fast-forward option allows for reduced downtime during repeated encounters, and a conversation log aids in tracking narrative developments. SaGa Frontier 2 Remastered is a faithful restoration of an RPG known for its fragmented storytelling, distinctive art direction, and complex mechanics. In this title, the combat is as engaging as ever, including the Glimmer system, which allows characters to spontaneously learn new abilities during battle, and last but not least, the combo system. Not only that, strategic party-based battles and the occasional grid-based tactical scenario also further diversify the combat experience, offering a range of mechanical expressions that deepen over time. Trails Through Daybreak 2 is a JRPG that continues Falcom's long-standing tradition of layered storytelling, tactical evolution, and expansive world building. In this game, the battle system sees refinement through two new mechanics, which are cross-charge and E-exchange. These additions not only enhance the pace and dynamisms of battle, but also reinforce the synergy between action RPG and turn-based systems. That being said, this game is a sequel of Calvert Arc, so make sure to play the first game before this one. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a turn-based RPG that weaves real-time mechanics and a richly imaginative world into a singular experience. While grounded in a traditional turn-based structure, it integrates real-time mechanics to heighten engagement and tension. Dodging and parrying are not optional flourishes, but critical skills that must be mastered to survive more complex encounters. Timing and rhythm also matter, with attack chains and defensive counters introducing a near-action game intensity to enemy turns. Alright boys, I think that's it for today. I know that there are other new turn-based games that I haven't mentioned yet, so how about sharing your best turn-based games that probably deserve a spot in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe the channel if you don't want to miss another great list. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Peace!
治療法準備完了